Okay, well, today I wanted to do an exercise to find out how it turns out. If we've got a note, we know the note is paying us every month, principal and interest, and as we finally have gotten back the same amount of money as we originally invested in that note, we buy a new note just like it. And then our principal and interest is now double. And if we buy a new note again, once we've collected again that same balance, what does that look like? What does that journey look like? Sounds fun. Let's see how that turns out together. So here's a note, a 7% yield. It cost us $50,000. I'm just using this as an example. And it's a 30-year note. And so 30 years, 7% yield, $50,000 our investment, we're going to be receiving $332.65 per month for a total of 360 months, is it not? And we'll, at the end of that whole time, have received a total of $119,754, of which the majority is interest. And we, of course, get our principal back. Okay, that's how it works, and that's all well and good. But now, let's explore this question that I just raised. What happens if? Okay. So you can see I've added a new column here, amount received, because I want to keep track of what my total receipts back are and kind of find those milestones. So here I am, starting with the first month, and of course the total amount received is none other than the first payment. Okay. And then the next amount received is the first two payments. Okay, fine. So let's figure out how long does it take for us to get our $50,000 back. So we scroll down, looking for 50,000, and here it is. So we have gotten our 50,000 back in month 151. So we buy another note. Let's call this now 100,000. And needless to say, we're now going to be getting double because we have got two notes exactly alike. One of them is making payment number 1, and the other one is making payment 152. Okay, that was fun. And so now what happens, when do we get our next 50,000? Well, here we are. We're now up to 100,000 in month 226. So we go buy another note, 150. And now, as you can imagine, we're making 3 times as much per month. Oh, okay. This is starting to get fun, isn't it? So that's number 3. Then, boop, we got down here to the 4th time that we've made our money back. We're now at 150,000 that we've made back, and that happened in month 276. So now we've got 4 times 50,000. We've got 200,000 working for us, and of course our payment is now 4 times as much as it was to begin with. So as you can imagine, it's accelerating, is it not? How quickly we get to the next 50,000. So here we are in the 5th time that we've made our 50,000 back. This is, we've now received a total of 200,000, and that happened in month 314. So, well, 5 times 50, so now we've got 250,000 working for us, and now we're getting 5 times as much as we were originally. And it will take us all the way down to the bottom. So let's just summarize here. The first thing that we can see is each time we got another note. In this simple example, we got notes exactly the same each time. We can see that in that example, each time the amount increased by exactly as much as we were getting before. So it's a straight line of increase in our principal and interest payments. Each time it increases by $332.65. Okay. But the other thing that you probably noticed, or probably thought, this is probably where Jim's going with this, as you can imagine, it can inescapably be true that the amount of time that we're having to wait for that next $50,000 is reducing, and it's reducing exponentially. So here we are. That first wait for the first 50,000 was 151 months. The next 75 months, the next 50 months, 38 months. Pretty soon it'll be ding, 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 ding. So that's pretty interesting. And the other thing that I wanted to share with you is, of course, because that money is going back in again, it's also working and it's changing our yield, is it not? So we started off with a 7% yield, and now we're up to, here, before I tell you about the yield, let me tell you what my assumption was. So I had this initial 50,000 payment. And when I get to the end, what I did is I take my last payment and then I just sell all those other notes at the face value of the notes, the unpaid principal balance at 7% yield to the investor I'm selling them to. So I cash everything out and I end up with a payment of 170. Now, of course, I could keep them, and that would change, all kind of different things. I could keep this rolling. That would change all kind of different things. I could make this 20 years. It'd change again. But anyway, this is what I'm modeling, and so that's how I got to this number where I have nothing left on the table. I sold all my other notes, and I just cashed them out. So in this case, I've received total payments of $446,000 over the course of that period of time. And my total yield is 11.7 rather than 7%. That's pretty interesting. But I think that the part that I wanted to share with you, which you probably would have guessed, but it's nice to see it visually, is this one. Each time that we get what our initial payment was, our initial investment, we have to wait less and less and less to get it back again and push it back in and keep increasing our returns. Pretty interesting. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to share that with you as sort of like a little thought experiment about how this works. And I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.